Welcome to last week's news, where I tell you last week's news, or at least the parts that I can make funny. Our first story, some chick shoplifted and then couldn't get into the getaway car and got abandoned. It's surprising that the criminal enterprise whose ambitions were steal some Nikes wasn't well organized. If my accomplice couldn't figure out a car door, I'd probably bail on her too. Shang-Chi did great in theaters. I personally just want superheroes to be over for a while. Can we just chill with them? No? We have to keep inventing new ones and being successful with those? Alright, fuck me and my preferences, I guess. China says they're trying to put an end to, quote, sissy men. Apparently they don't want their citizens watching K-pop. In other news, I'm moving to China because fuck individual liberties, they're based. I mean, I guess there are some perks to living in a totalitarian state. Also, targeting sissy men seems like a smart move. Who's going to stand up for them? The US got rid of its jobless benefits. This could end up putting a lot of people into poverty. Many of those people lazy, but still. The most excited by this news are the people who offer all the shitty jobs. The Taliban is preventing people from leaving. I guess they've been Talibanned from getting out of Afghanistan. Kill me. Some guy had a racist, what I can only describe as psychotic break on a plane. And so the internet's real mad at him, understandably. It is funny, though, that the left is now the side hating on the mentally ill. It's nice that in America we can all be united on something. The mentally ill are the enemy. Some chick who goes by, quote, fat trophy wife, unquote, didn't comply with some airline rules for dress and then got kicked off. Basically, she was showing a midriff, and the airline was like, yo, you gotta cover that up. And then when she didn't, they kicked her off. Problem was she's large, and so she's convinced it's because she's large. And in her defense, that shirt probably did cover her midriff last week. Biden erased some student debt, but people don't think it's enough. Pay for more of my mistakes, demand people who have made mistakes. A bunch of groups are fighting back against the abortion laws, like Bumble. Uber and Lyft are creating relief funds for drivers under the law. Also, the Satanic Temple has been fighting back via religious exemption. Portland is considering barring state employee travel to Texas. Basically, this law's caused a lot of hubbub. For some reason, I'm drawing a blank on jokes on this story. It's weird given that abortion is such a hilarious topic, usually. The CEO of Tripwire Games had to step down for daring to have a different political opinion than what you're supposed to have. He agrees with the Texas law. It's obviously stupid to take away his job. When you take away someone's right to do something, they just do it illegally. All he's going to do now is start a studio called Coat Hanger Games. I don't even know what that joke was meant to be satirizing. COVID's still a thing. I guess there was a surge. Honestly, I just don't understand how the people who are still freaking out about COVID have managed to stay this anxious about it for this long. If you told me there was a 1% chance I'd get murdered by an axe murderer, I would be losing my shit. But if a year later you were still talking about that axe murderer, I'd be like, dude, it's been well over a year. I know about the axe murderer. I've got my axe-resistant hoodie on. Can we talk about something else at this point? Joe Rogan threatened to sue CNN. Sounded kind of joking, but either way. They keep making up shit about him taking horse dewormer, when ivermectin very much has a human formulation. I think CNN would love for Rogan to sue them, though, because it would be a juicy news story for them to inaccurately report on and misrepresent. Governor Abbott of Texas defended the abortion law, saying it does protect rape victims, because they get 6 weeks to get their abortions in. In a response to this, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez called women, quote, menstruating people. I wonder why she used that terminology. Basically, we're all idiots, is what I'm trying to say. We just choose what we're going to be idiots about. Now, Mexico struck down an anti-abortion law. Seems like they're trying to be the cool kids on the block right now. Some guy at a college town in Colorado was filmed chastising women for wearing bikinis because of his righteous anger. The video went viral and he got fired from his job. I went to college in the town that he did this in, and I can honestly say that women in swimsuits do corrupt young minds. Keep the corruption coming. Facebook created smart glasses because people are getting bored of the usual ways to let the lizard man track your every thought and movement. United Airlines is putting any employee who has a religious vaccine exemption on unpaid leave. So in other words, they don't get an exemption. And even better, Howard Stern says we should deny hospital treatment to unvaccinated folk. I guess Stern is an appropriate last name. This is the man who was going to pay someone $100K to get fucked in Times Square, and he wants to take the moral high ground on this one. The government is mandating federal workers get vaccinated. I say we go even further. Mandate that they don't get COVID. Solve all this in one fell swoop. Why the half measures? And that's the news, albeit disjointedly. Thanks for listening. Leave a like and a comment and subscribe and all the other stuff you're supposed to do. Good night.